History lost, decks past, but in this series, we revisit older decks to see if they can be brought back to the forefront of the meta. We'll break down what made these decks great, what no longer holds up, and how modern builds can give them new life. By exploring different variants and tech choices, we'll tune each deck to fit different playstyles. Let's see if these classics still have what it takes for meta teching. What's up, guys? My name is TechnoTuner, and welcome back to another episode of Metateching. Today, we're taking a look at, of course, Jurrac, one of the few dino decks that have gotten recent updates in the past year or two, but also has so much splashability and so much capability to do so much more. With the advancements of Megalo allowing you to get a draw tube by discarding a Jurrac and another dinosaur, or by basically, when it's destroyed, sending an Astro to the graveyard so you can unlock Meteor during your opponent's turn, can also help a lot there. The other thing about Astro giving you the full board capability to negate your opponent's summon. This can really help you when you're going through and doing a actual beatdown kind of style of deck with dinosaurs, but it also offers up a lot of good recoverability and going first capability. From being able to further interrupt your opponent during your opponent's turn, but also giving you the capability to crack back on your go to either bring out Transcendosaurus line, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno line, or just bring out another Meteor and blowing up board. From being able to utilize the Fire Link era stuff with Promethean Princess, the Summon Great, Rage Phoenix, and the Amblo Whale, to utilizing more of the Jurrac Synchro line or the Evolzar Xyz line, you have a lot of good capability along with a strong main deck to further interact with your opponent. But today I want to take a look at several different other builds that we can heavily utilize here with this deck to further make it more playable, or just to give you more options on what you can do with the deck core. As Jurrac doesn't have to be played as a pure dino deck, it can be used in Fire King and others along those lines. But enough of me blabbering on about this. Let's go ahead and hop right in to our first deck, which is going to be the pure version. So, of course, with the pure version, we're running 3 Baby Ceratosaurus, 2 Jurrac Aeolo, 3 Jurrac Guaiba, 3 Jurrac Megalo, 1 Jurrac Protoss, 2 Jurrac Protera, 3 Jurrac Stego, 1 Jurrac Velo, 1 Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus, 3 Soul Eating Oviraptor, 1 Trandosaurus Meteorus, 2 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, 2 Xeno Meteorus, 1 Frostosaurus, and of course, the odd one out, 1 Blaster Dragon Ruler of Infernos. Now, a lot of people are like, well, why are you running Blaster? Well, Blaster can be summoned by banishing 2 fire and or dragon monsters from hand or graveyard, just basically as another extender to get more damage on board. It also has the fun capability of popping a card to where you can discard this card, 1 fire monster to the graveyard, target 1 card on the field, destroy that target. If this card is banished, you can add 1 fire dragon monster from your deck to your hand. We're not worried about that part. We're mainly utilizing it for the pop if we need to, but also a 2800 body if we also need to further interrupt our opponent. Now, aside from that, the deck does offer up a lot of good things with destruction from Baby Ceratosaurus, of course. When it's being destroyed, you summon a level 4 or lower dinosaur from your deck, so giving you access to the Aeolo, which basically allows you to tribute the card, target a level 4 or lower Jurrac monster in your graveyard except Jurrac Aeolo, and special summon it, which can get you Guaiba, where if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon Jurrac monster with 1700 or less attack from your deck, but cannot declare an attack this turn, which can give you another Guaiba to go into a rank 4, or you can summon out either Megalo or Stego along with Terra or Protoss or Velo. Megalo has a really good effect of, if you control a dinosaur monster, you can special summon this card from your hand during your main phase. You can discard 2 cards, including a Jurrac card, then draw 2 cards. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send 1 Jurrac monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard, except Jurrac Megalo. You can only use each effect of Jurrac Megalo once per turn. So basically giving you a revamp on hands on card draw if you need to by discarding a Jurrac monster and another card. So this can turn dead spell, dead trap, or dead monster in hand into something else, hopefully, allowing you to dig deeper into your deck to get more capability. The other thing is it's a level 1 tuner, so that helps you get into your level 5s a lot easier, going into Velfido for further extension. The other cards that we're playing are Jurrac Protops. We don't really see this one a lot. I run it as a one of. Feel free to change this if you're playing another version. The others that I'm playing are 2 Patera, where if this card is attacked, return the attacking monster to the hand after damage calculation, and if this card gains defense equal to the return monster's level times 100. So makes it a lot more interactable if you're dealing with like smaller monsters that your opponent can't really swing over with. But it's a good level 3 if you're trying to go into a level 4 or anything else. Then, of course, we have Jurrac Stego. During your main phase, you can destroy 1 card you control, and if you do, send 1 dinosaur monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then you can special summon Jurrac monsters from your hand and or deck, except Jurrac Stego, whose total levels equal the sent monster's level, ignoring their summoning conditions. Also, for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon except dinosaur monsters. You can only use this effect to Jurrac Stego once per turn. When this card is destroyed by battle, you can return 1 face-up card on the field to the hand. So basically allowing you to get a bounce back for your opponent to further board break. And then, of course, we got Jurrac Velo. When this attack position card you control is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon Jurrac monster with 1700 or less attack from your deck, giving you access to the Guaiba line. Now, of course, you guys know what Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus does, where you discard it, your opponent can't activate any effects because your dinosaurs are going to be unaffected during main phase 1 of your turn, and then you can banish it along with any other number of dinosaurs to summon a dinosaur monster with the same level as those banished. But you have to destroy it during the end phase. Soleating Oviraptor, of course, is our normal summon, and if it is special summon, we can basically add a dinosaur monster from our deck and either add it to our hand or send it to the graveyard. You can target one of the level 4 dinosaur monster on the field, destroy it, then special summon dinosaur monster from your graveyard in defense position. You can only use each effect of Soleating Oviraptor once per turn. We're also following this up with Transcendosaurus Meteorus, where you can pop 2 other dinosaur monsters in your hand or field, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summon, you can send 1 dinosaur monster from your deck to the graveyard. If this card is destroyed, you can shuffle 1 normal monster from your graveyard into the deck, then special summon this card. So basically being able to pop a baby Ceratosaurus and another monster to get its proc off. So for example, Megalo and baby Ceratosaurus, if you don't have any further extension to do, Transcendosaurus can turn them on and get their effects going, so you can get an Astro in the graveyard and another monster on board. Then, of course, you have Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which is just a really big beater that also gives you the capability of destroying another monster in your hand or field and change all face-up monsters your opponent controls to face-down defense position as a quick effect. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks a defense position monster, you can inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. If you do, send that defense position monster to the graveyard. So it gets around destruction effects by just sending them. Then, of course, we have Xenometeorus, which is our level 6. That functions very well with Frostosaurus to give us the capability of going into level 12 plays. But it also functions as another level 10, another way to get into our level 10s, because it's a level 6 tuner. If a card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can destroy 1 dinosaur monster in your hand or field, then special summon 1 dinosaur normal monster from your hand or deck. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except dragon, dinosaur, sea serpent, or worm monsters. You can only use each effect of Xenometeorus once per turn. So basically, once a card is destroyed, Xenometeorus summons himself, and then you can special summon this, Xenometeorus will summon himself. You can then destroy a dinosaur monster on your hand or in your field. So you can then special summon Frostosaurus from your deck, or hand, if you need to. But it does lock you into those 4 types, which you don't really have to worry about as much because we're just playing mainly dinos, and that's our main function. But we do run 3 Fossil Dig, 3 Jurrac Volcano, 1 1-for-1, 1 Terraforming, and 2 Jurrac Impact instead of the 1 because we have more ways to get to it. Now, Jurrac Volcano is a very interesting card because during the main phase, you can destroy 1 dinosaur monster you control, and if you do, special summon 1 Jurrac monster from your deck. If your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, and they've activated 4 or more monsters effects this turn, except during damage step, you can special summon 1 Jurrac Meteor from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon. If a Jurrac monster you control will be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish 1 dinosaur monster from your graveyard instead. You can only use each effect of Jurrac Volcano once per turn. So basically giving your Jurrac monsters more protection, but also giving you the capability to destroy the board with Jurrac Meteor. Now, going on to the extra deck, we're playing, of course, the Jurrac Astro at 3, where if this card is synchro summon, you can set 1 Jurrac Spell or Trap from your deck or graveyard. Once returned, when your opponent would special summon a monster or monsters, you can banish 2 dinosaur monsters from your graveyard, negate the summon, and if you do, destroy that monster. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can banish 2 Jurrac monsters from your graveyard, including this card, special summon 1 Jurrac Meteor from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon. Speaking of Jurrac Meteor requires 1 Jurrac tuner and 2 non-tuner dinosaur monsters. If this card is synchro summon, destroy all cards on the field. Then you can special summon 1 tuner from your graveyard. So that with Jurrac Meteor, Jurrac Volcano, you can protect your Jurrac monsters by keeping the Meteor and Astro on board, but gives you the full board capability of still getting a tuner back on the board, such as Megalo, to continue your plays. Then, of course, we got Jurrac Velveeta. This card's attack and defense each become the total original attack of the materials used for its synchro summon. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks a defense position monster, you can destroy that face down defense position monster, giving you further capability to just pop a defense position monster, which can really help you just get board clear. But you do have to be careful of that because some monsters do just like being destroyed. Then, of course, we got Dolka as our monster negation, where it's 2 level 4 dinosaurs. When a monster's effect is activated, detach 1 material from this card, negate the activation if you do destroy it. Volzar Logia, 2 level 4 dinosaurs. When a monster or monsters would be normal or special summon or spell or trap card is activated, detach 2 materials from this card, negate the summon. If you do, destroy it. And then, of course, we have a Volzar Lars, 2 level 6 monsters. While this card has a material, your opponent cannot target it with monster effects. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can detach 2 materials from this card, or just 1 material if all this card's materials are reptile and or dinosaur, then target 1 face of card your opponent controls negates effects until end this turn. So we got effect negation, summon negation, and another effect negation, which can further help. Outside of that, of course, we have Hida, which can turn our opponent's Ash Blossom into material for us to go into Promethean Princess, which locks us into fire monsters, but it also allows us to revive a fire monster from our graveyard, so we can bring back the Transcendosaurus or the Xenometeorus if we need to push for further damage, but we can also link it away to go into Salamangreat Raging Phoenix, which is a very good card, or we can go into Amblo Whale, which can allow us to utilize it for our next turn, where we pop it with Promethean Princess, and being able to utilize Amblo Whale effect if if this card is destroyed, you can target 1 link 3 or lower monster in either graveyard, special summon it. If a link 3 or lower monsters on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, destroy 1 card in the field, so giving you additional pops that can further help break your opponent's board. But that's all that I have for the main one. Let's go ahead and hop right in to our actual other decks. So hopping directly from a pure build into a Genesis build, this makes it a little bit more fun to heavily utilize. Now, with the Transcendosaurus and Xenometeorus effect and line, we do have further opportunities here to go into other cards, such as, here's my mouse, the Transcendosaurus Drilling Gnathus. It's 2 level 6 monsters. While this card has no materials, if it battles a monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. You can only use each effect of the following effects: Transcendosaurus Drilling Gnathus. Once per turn, you can attach 1 material from this card, target 1 of your banished dinosaur monsters, special summon it. If this card is destroyed, you can shuffle 1 normal monster from your graveyard into the deck, then special summon this card. The other opportunities that you have to go into with the level 6 line is Transcendosaurus Glaciosaurus. 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. Dinosaurs, monsters you control that were special summoned from the graveyard cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target them with card effects. If this card is destroyed, you can shuffle 1 normal monster from your graveyard into the deck, then you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect Transcendosaurus Glaciosaurus once per turn. And then, of course, we got Transcendosaurus Gigantozauler. 1 dinosaur monster plus 1 normal monster if this card is special summoned. You can target 1 dinosaur monster in your graveyard add to your hand. Then if this card was special summoned from the graveyard, you can destroy 2 cards, 1 from the hand or field, and one of your opponent's cards that they control. If this card is destroyed, you can shuffle 1 normal monster from your graveyard into the deck. Then you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect of Transcendosaurus Gigantozauler once per turn. A 3800 body, another 3600 body, and a 3k body, all making it very easily some of the most powerful cards that you can utilize, especially using your normal monsters. This is why we upped it up by adding 2 Megalo Smasher X. Given that Miscellaneous Sarosaurus is a 67-point card and our Volzar Lars is a 20-point card, that kind of puts us in a little bit of trouble here, but we're also playing further extension through other cards such as Ground Xeno. Ground Xeno gives us the capability to add a Dinosaur Tuner or Dinosaur Normal monster from our deck to our hand, then destroy a card in our hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, fusion summon one Dinosaur Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. So this gives us the full board capability of fusioning into our Gigantozauler, but it also gives us the capability of adding Megalo and then popping our Megalo to dump an Astro. We do have further capabilities here as well, being able to utilize the actual polymerization. We're running 3 Xenometeorus and 3 normal targets. You can feel free to up those or modify however much you would like. In all honesty, I would probably cut the Protos, put another Frostosaurus in, because Protos, while it does come in as a level 4 body, is a bit bricky because this card gains 100 attack for each monster your opponent controls. So if your opponent controls no monsters, it's sitting there at 1700. The biggest it can get is 2200 in Genesis, so that's not really that much of a threat. In older days, it was a really good threat, but right now it's not that great. It is a good target to summon off a Baby Sarosaurus or Stego, but do remember if you go into Stego, you have to summon only dinosaurs and not dragons, so you're kind of stuck in the dinosaur line, which can prevent you from doing your Volzar plays. Now, what's so great about this build? Well, this build is very interesting as it takes more aspect into what Jurrac can do with a normal monster setup. Being able to utilize its popping, its destruction effects to trigger off other cards such as Xenometeorus. It also gives you the full board capability of being able to shuffle back your normal monsters or use them for further extension. So you can use your level 4s and a Jurrac Megalo or Aolo to go into a Jurrac Velfito. Or you can utilize your level 4 and another level 4 Jurrac monster and go into your rank 4s before you even start your Stego or other dinosaur combo. This deck also offers up a lot of good capability because you can go into fusion monsters, Xyz monsters, and sinker monsters that are dinosaurs, but also make it so much harder for your opponent to really interact with them because they have a lot of popping effects or makes it to where you can't target your opponent's your monsters. But it also offers up a lot of good, heavy, big body beaters, such as the 3600, the 3800, and the 3K. That makes it a lot harder for your opponent to really worry about having to swing over them because those are some really big bodies that a lot of people have to really worry about when it comes time for damage step. Now, while this deck does offer up a lot of good capability, there's a few improvements you can do. One is by running the Pyrotherapia. It's basically a, or it's, what is it? It's a fusion, it's a, it's a dinosaur monster. I know that much. I can't remember its name. To save my life, there it is. Chiroptera. If your opponent controls 2 or more face-up monsters except wind monsters, those monsters cannot target this card for attacks. You can only use each of the following effects of Chiroptera once per turn. During your main phase, you can add 1 polymerization from your deck to your hand. If this card is banished, you can special summon it. Then you can add 1 polymerization from your graveyard to your hand. So it makes it even better, and I would honestly recommend running this in there at least as a 2, if not 3 of. You can change your ratios however you see fit. It is a very good card nonetheless. I just couldn't remember the name of it to save my life. It's also 0 points, which makes it even better. But that's all that I have for the Genesis aspect here. Let's go ahead and hop right into another main deck that you guys may see playing the Jurrac engine. Alright, let's go ahead and get this one over with. It is the Jurrac Fire King. This is the one that everybody has seen from time to time, as it was a meta-topping deck for a while. This deck does offer up a lot of good capability with the Fire Kings because they love to be destroyed, and it gives you further opportunity to destroy your Jurrac cards. While you are running a minimal Jurrac engine with 2 Aolo, 3 Megalo, 3 Stego, and basically 2 Astro, 2 Meteor, and 2 Velfito in the extra deck, this deck still offers up a lot of good pushing power and board nuking power. Being able to basically nuke your opponent for a lot of different times, preventing them from getting a lot of different effects, but also you're incorporating things such as Fire King Avada, which is basically negate the activation when a monster effect is activated while this monster is on the field. Quick effect, you can negate the activation if you do destroy one other face-up fire monster in your hand or face-up field. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target one fire, beast, beast warrior, winged beast monster in your graveyard except Fire King Arvada and special summon it, but negates effects. Also destroy it during the end phase. You can only use each effect of Fire King Avatar Arvada once per turn, so it's basically just a monster negate. We have Fire King Courtier Volcanics. If this card is normal or special summon, you can destroy one other fire monster in your hand or face up field. And if you do, add one fire, beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster from your deck to your hand, except Fire King Courtier Volcanics. Then you can make this card's level become that added monster's level. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon Fire King High Avatar Garunix from your deck in defense position. You can only use each effect of Fire King Courtier Volcanics once per turn. Speaking of Fire King High Avatar Garunix, once per turn during the next standby phase after this card was destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon this card from your graveyard. If you do, destroy all monsters all other monsters on the field. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon Fire King monster from your deck except Fire King High Avatar Garunix, which can get us into Fire King High Avatar Kirin. During the main phase, if this card is in your hand, quick effect, you can destroy one other fire monster in your hand or face up field. And if you do, special summon this card. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Fire King monster from your hand or graveyard, except Fire King High Avatar Kirin. Then you can destroy one card on the field. You can only use each effect of Fire King High Avatar Kirin once per turn, being able to get you into your legendary Fire King Ponix. If your monsters that was originally fire is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Fire King spell or trap from your deck to your hand during the next standby phase after this card was destroyed and sent to the graveyard. Add this card from the graveyard to your hand. You can only use each effect of Legendary Fire King Ponix once per turn. Also getting you into the option of utilizing Sacred Fire King Garunix. If your monster or monsters that was originally fire is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your graveyard if it was there when the monster was destroyed, or from your hand even if not. If this card is normal or special summon, you can destroy one Fire Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster in your hand, deck, or face-up field except Sacred Fire King Garunix, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to half of the destroyed monster's attack it had there until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect of Sacred Fire King Garunix once per turn. So basically giving you a bigger beater, but also with the amount of popping we're doing, we're getting a lot of good opportunities here to trigger off our Megalo, our Garunic, Stego, Guaiba, whatever. Now, do note that Stego does lock you into dinosaurs for the rest of the turn if you utilize Stego, so most people are not going to run Stego, but it's a good way if you're kind of blocked into that. If you're looking to fit in hand traps, cut the Guaibas and the Stegos. That'll basically free up 6 slots, gives you a lot more capability to further interact with your opponent. Now, the Fire King Island, if this card is in your face-up field zone and is sent to the graveyard destroyed, destroy all monsters you control. You can only use one of the following effects of Fire King Island per turn, only once that turn. During your main phase, you can destroy one monster in your hand or field, and if you do, add one Fire King monster from your deck to your hand. Control no monsters, you can special summon one Fire Winged Beast monster from your hand, so giving you the capability of getting into your Garunix or your Ponix. Now, we do follow up with 2 Fire King Sanctuary. When this card is activated, you can place one Fire King Island from your deck face up in your field zone. Once per turn, if a card in your field zone would be destroyed by card effect, you can destroy one fire monster in your hand or face-up field instead. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, exceeds one Fire Exceeds monster using only Fire King monsters you control. You can only activate one Fire King Sanctuary per turn, giving your field spell more protection, but also triggering off your popping effects. And then, of course, we're playing the one Fire King Skyburn, target an equal number of Fire King monsters you control and cards your opponent controls, destroy them, and if a Fire King or Fire King's cards you control will be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. You can only use one Fire King Skyburn effect per turn, and only once that turn. This also allows us to get Echelon of the Fire Kings. Special summon 3 fire monsters, 1 Beast, Beast Warrior, and 1 Winged Beast, one each from their hand, deck, and graveyard, but their effects are negated. Also destroy them during the end phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard. This turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when you normal or special summon a Fire King or Fire King's monster. You can only use each effect of Echelon of Fire Kings once per turn, giving your deck more protective playable capability from their effects, so it can slow them down, but also gets you 3 bodies into the graveyard, which can trigger off during your turn to summon them back and get more proccing of effects. Now, the other card that I would like to talk about is Runic's Eternity, Hang of the Fire Kings. This card is really insane because of this card's Succeed Summon. You destroy all other monsters on the field. You detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 spell or trap on the field to destroy it. And if you do, this card gains 500 attack. That is a permanent 500 gain, regardless. So that's great. If this card is destroyed while it has material, you can special summon Fire King monsters from your graveyard up to the number of materials this card had. You can only use each effect of Runic's Eternity Hang of the Fire Kings once per turn. So it's a board wipe, a spell trap pop, a decent beater, and a capability to revive back a decent amount of Fire Kings as well to further seal out the game. While this deck offers up so much good capability and it's very malleable, it is a very good anti-meta threat right now to most cards in the environment. Now, the cards I would cut if I were looking to would be the 3 Volcano, the 1 Impact, the 3 Stego, and the 3 Guaiba, and even the 2 Aeolo. This is due to the fact of we don't want to be dinosaur locked when we're playing this deck, but it also offers up a lot of good capability if you're looking to fit in hand traps such as Infinite Impermanence, Ash Blossom, Mold Charmy, Ghost Ogre, all those fun cards that you like to play. This is just a deck that I was able to put together and found that somebody was running, had some fun with it, and they said it was really good, at least through online chat I've had with friends. Now, this deck, while it does offer up a lot of good combo pieces, because you're going to see a lot of your combo pieces early on, does have some setbacks as it can dino lock you, which can further prevent you. So you want to start with your Fire King combo before you go into your Jurrac combo, but if you go into your Jurrac combo, you are kind of sitting there with a hope and a dream of maybe 3 Astro to kind of stop your opponent. It's perfectly fine. This deck's not for everyone, but feel free to modify this deck version however you see fit. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop right into our next one. Now, I know a lot of people are going to judge me for this one, but I think Ryuge could actually fit very well with Jurracs, as they are a dinosaur archetype. The Ryuge stuff works very well with it, giving you the further capability of basically searching up Sea Spires, Wormwinds, Warzone, even Dino Domains. So this makes it even harder for your opponent to really interact, but you also get really cool boss monsters like Soisei and Tensei, which can be further interactive to where, for example, Tensei, its pendulum effect, you cannot pendulum summon monsters except Ryuge monsters. This effect cannot be negated. You can negate your opponent's cards or effect activations in response to this activation or of your Ryuge spell card or effect, then destroy this card. You can only use this effect of Tensei Ryuge once per turn. That's its pendulum effect. That's monster effect is you contribute 1 Ryuge monster from your hand or field, except Tensei Ryuge Anva, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summon, you can target 1 card in the field to destroy it. If this card is destroyed, you can place 1 Ryuge continuous spell or trap from your deck, graveyard, or banishment face up on your field. You can only use each effect of Tensei Ryuge Anva once per turn, giving you another good one with Mistfa, where during your main phase, its pendulum effect, you can add 1 non-pendulum Ryuge card from your deck to your hand, then destroy this card. You can only use this effect as Soisei Ryuge Mistfa once per turn. Must be special summoned by its own effect. You can only special summon Soisei Ryuge Mistfa once per turn. If a monster on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your extra deck, you contribute 1 level 10 Ryuge monster, and if you do, special summon this card. This tree is a ritual summon. Then you can apply the following effect: destroy 2 cards you control, and if you do, place up to that many Ryuge continuous spells from your deck face up on your field. So since we'll be popping 2 cards we control, Jurracs such as Megalo and Baby Sarasaurus, we can get Astro in the graveyard to trigger off a meteor during our opponent's turn, but we can also get Baby Sarasaurus to get Stego on our board, or just Oviraptor in general. Now, what do the other Ryuges do? Well, Emva, you can discard this card, add 1 Ryuge Sea Spires from your deck to your hand. During your main phase, if 2 or more monsters were sent from the hand and or deck to the graveyard this turn, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. You can place Ryuge Realm Spires you control on the bottom of the deck, banish your opponent's entire hand. If you do, they draw the same number of cards. You can only use this effect of Cairo Ryuge Emva once per turn. Then we got Hakva. You can banish this card from your hand, add 1 Ryuge Realm, Wormwinds from your deck to your hand. If a monster is banished face up, if this card is already banished, and there are now at least 2 or other banished monsters that are not Hakva, you can special summon this banished card. You can place 1 Ryuge Realm Wormwinds you control on the bottom of the deck. Add 1 Ryuge card from your deck, graveyard, and or banishment to your hand, except Hakva. You can only use each effect of Hakva once per turn. And then we have Kaiba. You can shuffle this card from your hand into the deck. Add 1 Ryuge Realms Dino Domains from your deck to your hand. During the main phase, if there are 2 or more cards were destroyed this turn, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can place 1 Ryuge Realm Dino Domains you control on the bottom of the deck, then target other cards on the field up to the number of different monster types on the field, destroy them. You can only use each effect of Kaiba once per turn. Now, what do each of the domains do? Well, Dino Domains, Ryuge monsters you control gain 300 attack, and Pendulum monsters whose level 10 or higher, whose original type is Dinosaur, that you control, gain this effect. Once per turn, when an effect of a monster on the field with less attack is activated, quick effect, you can place 1 Ryuge continuous spell you control on the bottom of the deck, negate the activation. Then you have Sea Spires. Once again, it's where your level 10 Pendulum monsters or Sea Serpent monsters you control gain this effect. Once per turn, quick effect, you can place 1 Ryuge continuous spell you control on the bottom of the deck, then target 1 card on the field, return to the hand. And then, of course, Wormwinds. Any monster sent from the field to the graveyard during your opponent's turn is banished instead. Ryuge Pendulum monsters and level 10 or higher monsters whose original type is Worm that you control gain this effect. Once per turn, quick effect, place 1 Ryuge continuous spell on the bottom of the deck, target 1 face-up monster on the field, its attack becomes 0. So making it even more problematic from being able to banish, get a bounce, or a destruction can really hurt your opponent nonetheless. And then, of course, we're playing 3 of the War Zone in pairing with the Jurrac Volcano. Feel free to modify that however you see fit. But Ryuge War Zone is really good because when this card is activated, take 1 Dinosaur, Sea Serpent, and Worm monster from your deck, add 1 to your hand, banish 1, and send 1 to the graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except Dragon, Dinosaur, or Sea Serpent monsters or Worm monsters. If you have Soisei, Ryuge, Misfa in your extra deck face up, you can special summon 3 Ryuge monsters with different types, 1 each, from your deck, graveyard, and banishment. You can only utilize each effect of Ryuge Warzone once per turn. So basically making sure that he's in your extra deck gives you the full board capability of summoning out the Ryuge monsters, but it also allows you to foolish a miscellaneous Sarosaurus if you need to, which can further help with starting your Dino combo. Now, for the Ryuge Rising, add 1 Ryuge monster from your deck to your hand, then you can add 1 Ryuge Pendulum monster from your hand to your face-up extra deck. During your main phase, if you control a Ryuge Pendulum monster card, you can banish this card and 1 Ryuge monster from your graveyard, special summon a Ryuge monster with that same original type as that banished monster from your deck. You can only utilize 1 Ryuge Rising effect per turn. So this is a really good way to just basically add 1, then add a Pendulum monster from your face-up extra deck, from your hand to your extra deck, so you get Misfa in there, and then basically you can utilize it to banish it and a Ryuge monster from your graveyard, special summon 1 with the same type. So that can help as well. But the 2 traps that we're playing is End and Rivalry. Your opponent cannot target Ryuge monsters you control with card effects. You can only use each effect of Ryuge End once per turn. If a Ryuge Pendulum monster in your field or face-up extra deck, you can shuffle 2 Ryuge monsters from your hand, graveyard, or banishment into the main deck, then destroy 1 monster on the field. Target 1, destroy it. If this card is destroyed, you can set 1 non-continuous Ryuge trap from your deck, graveyard, or banishment, which gets us into Ryuge Rivalry. Special summon a Ryuge monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, but return to the hand during the end phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 Ryuge continuous spell in your banishment, graveyard, or field, and place it on the bottom of the deck, then draw 1 card. So giving you a little extra card draw there, giving you opportunities to further mess with the actual deck as well. Since we're playing level 10s, it does give us other opportunities here as well to play the trains if we decide to go that route. So giving us Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max, or just regular Rail Cannon Gustav Max to burn for 2,000, or a monster negation. And then we also do have Varudras, which is basically the Xyz variant of the Ryuges. I'm just going to say it there because he makes more sense logistically and canonically. But he's basically a destruction and negate, which can further help with board breaking. Now, why do we play this variant? It's more of a fun variant, gives you the opportunity to utilize the Ryuge monsters and the Jurrac monsters in more ways than you would see fit. Even if you do destroy all cards on the field, The Ryugeis can either go to the extra deck or allow you to trigger off other effects to further bounce and destroy opponent's cards, but it also gives you opportunity to access the banishment and further hinder your opponent, so giving you further opportunity to set up your Jurrac, Astro, and Meteor lock, but also being able to give you more opportunities for swinging in for more damage, as they are all decent level 10 bodies with decent attacks, such as 3k being the lowest, but the highest being 35 with Mistva. So giving you more opportunities there as well as a whole to further giving you more protection and more capability. But that's all I have for the Ryuge build. Let's hop into our last and final build. Ever wondered what you could do with GMX? Well, Jurrac is a good engine if you're looking to utilize the GMX cards. GMX gives you the opportunity to basically excavate through your deck until you hit a Dino and a GMX card and Fusion Summon. But GMX Chairman Kimbridge, you can reveal this card in your hand, add one GMX Applied Experiment 55 from your deck or graveyard to your hand. If you do, shuffle this card into the deck. If this card is special summoned by a monster effect, you can target 2 cards in your graveyard that are GMX cards and or dinosaur monsters, place them on top of the deck in any order, then destroy one attack position monster your opponent controls. So that can really work very well with this deck, but it also gives you opportunities to search up GMX Applied Experiment number 55. Excavate the top 5, excavate the top cards of your deck until you have excavated a GMX monster and a dinosaur monster. Lose 400 life points for each excavate card. Then you can fusion summon one GMX fusion monster from your extra deck using any excavated monsters as material. Also shuffle the rest into the deck. You can only activate one GMX Applied Experiment number 55 per turn, so giving you the capability to just fuse off of them, allowing you to go into Alos, Comprex, or Velox. Velox is really helpful because each time your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you gain 200 life points during your opponent's turn. Quick effect, you can target one card your opponent controls, excavate the top cards of your deck until you excavate a GMX or a dinosaur monster, lose 400 for each excavate card. Add that GMX or dinosaur monster from your hand, or add it to your hand or special summon it, and shuffle the rest into the deck. Also after that, destroy the targeted card. You only use each effect, or this effect of GMX Velox once per turn. Alos, each time your opponent normally special summons a monster or monsters, gain 200 life points. You only use each of the following effects of GMX Alos once per turn. You can target one GMX monster or dinosaur monster in your graveyard, or banishment, special summon it. This card cannot attack the turn this effect was activated. At the start of the damage step, this card battles an opponent's monster, you destroy that monster, and then Comprex gains the effects based on the number of dinosaur monsters used as fusion material for this card. 3 or more, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. 4 or more, this card can make up to 3 attacks during each battle phase. 5 or more, each time your opponent normal special summons a monster, they lose 800 life points. Once per turn, if you excavate a card or cards by a GMX card effect, you can destroy all other monsters on the field, making it further harder for your opponent to really interact. But if it destroys a Jurrac monster, such as Megalo, we get the Astro into the graveyard. Same way with Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus, if it destroys that, we get it into the graveyard, summon our Megalo, further proc off from there. But what do the rest of the GMX cards do that are in our main deck? Well, Partner Celandia. You can reveal this card in your hand, special one GMX monster or dinosaur monster from your hand. Also, you can only attack directly with GMX monsters for us this turn. If this card is special summoned by a monster effect, you can special summon one level 4 or lower GMX or dinosaur monster from your hand, graveyard, or banishment in defense position. You can only use each effect of GMX Partner Celandia once per turn. Just a great way to get bodies on board. But we also have GMX Researcher Saladin. If this card is normal summon, you can special summon one non-warrior GMX monster or one level 3 or lower dinosaur monster from your deck. If this card is summoned by a monster effect, you can add one GMX Explorer Trap from your deck to your hand. If a dinosaur fusion monster is on the field, you can shuffle this card from the field into the deck, and if you do, negate the effects of one face-up card on the field until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect of GMX Researcher Saladin once per turn. And then, of course, we're playing the one GMX Suppression Squad, which functions pretty well because if this card is in your hand, you control a GMX monster and or a dinosaur monster. You can special summon this card, target one face-up monster on the field, excavate cards of the excavate the top cards of your deck until you excavate a dinosaur monster. Send that dinosaur monster to the graveyard, and if you do, the targeted monster becomes a dinosaur monster until the end of this turn. Also shuffle the rest into the deck. You can only use each effect of GMX Suppression Squad once per turn. It's just a really good extender, but it also gives you instant access of getting your GMX cards, which can help you out a lot. Now, the other card that I would like to talk about is Return Dino Danin. If this card is special summoned by a monster effect, you can add one GMX monster from your deck to your hand. During your main phase, you can fusion summon one dinosaur fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can make all dinosaur monsters you currently control gain 400 attack. You can only use each effect to return Dino Deneen once per turn. So basically, giving your attack, your monsters an attack boost, but also giving you opportunity to further interact with your opponent through fusion summoning and all those. Then we have the 55th Experiment Report. Fusion summon one dinosaur fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from hand or field. If your opponent controls a monster, you can also use one GMX monster from your deck as material during your main phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard, excavate the top of your deck until you excavate a GMX card. Add that GMX card to your hand. Also shuffle the rest into the deck. You can only use one GMX Experiment Report effect per turn, only once that turn. So that's a great way to get a fusion summon, but also lets you excavate until you find a GMX card, which can help start off combos. Now, of course, we got the anti-GMX Final Experiment. Activate only if you control a GMX monster once per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck. Then if you excavate a GMX card or cards, you can negate the activate effect. Also place all the excavate cards on top or the bottom of the deck in any order, so allowing you to stack your deck in any way, shape, or form you see fit, which can further help trigger off further GMX cards, but also give you card draw into what you want to see for next turn, such as a Megalo, a Stego, whatever. This can further help build your deck in a way to further prompt you for further plays. Now, is GMX a good archetype? By itself, it's a very interesting one, but you can utilize it to further build off of the Jurrac style and the dinosaur style in general to give you more capable plays and board breaking capability in which you wouldn't see in normal GMX or just normal Jurrac. The one thing I will say about Jurrac, it's a very malleable deck core and it's very fun to play. Nonetheless, I wouldn't give this deck a thumbs down in any way, shape, or form, as Megalo, well, not Megalo, but Jurrac in general is so much fun and offers up so much good capability for you to further learn how synchro summoning works, how dinos work, how popping and trigger effects can chain and work together, but also giving you further capability for a really good starter deck for newer people while offering up them a archetype that receives a decent amount of support so they don't really have to worry about it. Dinosaurs in general get decent amounts of support from time to time, which can make them even better, but can also make it even more fun to play. While this deck is very explosive and very malleable, you can utilize it to any way, shape, or form you see fit. Anyways, guys, thank you for hanging with me through this entire time. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please feel free to leave it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.